And it sounds like we are now going to be tossing over to the press conference with Austin Police for the latest on the train derailment.
I-L-E-R, and I'm a member of the Austin Police Department Public Information Office team. So this morning I'm going to give you a briefing on the train derailment behind us. So 4:41 this morning, Austin 911 received a phone call of the train derailment. Officers responded. We've got downtown shut down here on 3rd Street. And I believe the other closure is there's a railroad crossing at Mary Street and Old Torf. So those are going to be the closures that are going to inconvenience the morning commuters. What I can say right now is it is not a passenger car. It is a cargo train. It is not carrying any hazardous material. Nobody is injured, and Union Pacific is the operator of this railroad, and they have staff en route to address this. Texas Railroad Commission will also be en route to investigate. Don't know what caused it, but I know that there's no danger to the public. It's pretty jarring eyesight, but nobody's injured, no threat to the public. So pretty short, sweet, ugly, but quick to the point. I can take any questions that anybody has at this point.
Can you talk a little bit about what the cleanup process looks like, and if you have an estimate for how long it will take?
I have no estimate as to how long this is going to take. I can see we've already got some railroad staff members on the scene, but I imagine this is going to be multiple hours. And fortunately, like I said, the only street that seems to be affected for our morning commuters is the intersection of Mary Street and Old Torf Street. So any commuters in that area are encouraged to find an alternate route.
Are the Union Pacific operators local to Austin?
I don't know where their home office is. I know that the railroad operates through downtown. So how long it's going to take them to get here, I don't know. We don't deal with train derailments that often. So
I was about to ask, do you know about how often this type of event occurs in Austin?
I've worked downtown for a decade, and this is the first one in my recent memory, so not very often.
This train, it was just passing by, it wasn't stopping at the Amtrak that's a block away?
No. This is a cargo train, and to my knowledge, they don't stop at the Amtrak. The track is owned by the commercial railroads. Amtrak just uses it sometimes.
You said there's no cause. Is the turn over Lady Bird Lake any sort of indication of what may have led up to this? Do we know that yet?
Again, the Austin Police Department is not responsible for the investigation of train derailments. Union Pacific and the Railroad Commission are going to determine that. Once we get that information, we can certainly push that out through our main PIO office.
Do you know how many cars were derailed?
It's a 200, I don't know how many cars are derailed, but the entirety of what was being hauled is 230 cars.
All right, as we just heard from the police officer, again, APD doesn't handle these kinds of situations. He said Union Pacific staff is on the way to address this, but also reiterating that no one was injured and it was not a hazardous spill, and also saying this is a cargo train that derailed. But there's 2 closures, right, street closures, so that's going to be an issue for people downtown. He said downtown at 3rd is closed, and then the other closure is Mary Street at Old Torf.
And it's going to take a few hours. Didn't know exactly how long, but it's going to take a few hours to get that cleaned up. So keep that in mind if that is part of your commute there in downtown Austin.